Hardley and I were desperate for work. It had been a month since we had a case, and although we managed to hang on to money from our other cases, we were bored out of our minds. So when a knock came at the door one late afternoon, we both jumped out of our chairs to answer it. Hello? Is this the Hardley A. Witt Detective Agency? It is. I'm Lacey Stocking, and this is Hardley. What can we do for you? The woman was a few inches taller than me and all legs. She had mousy brown hair, freckles spread across her nose and both cheeks. Her eyes were soft and wide, a dark blue, I think. Her clothes were well worn and her makeup was rather sloppy, like she was in a hurry when she got dressed for the day. She was what my father would call plain-looking, but somehow she still managed to look stunning. This was a mistake. I better leave. No, don't go, please. We'd like to help you if we can. Come in and sit down. Tell us what's on your mind. Talking to us is the least you can do, now that you've made us curious. What's your name? Catherine Greer, but everyone calls me Kate. I'm a little nervous, if you haven't guessed by now. Never would have guessed. Can we get you a cup of coffee? Now that'll make you nervous. Anyway, Kate, what seems to be the problem? Just recently, I was contacted by a lawyer representing a dead man who I've never met, who left me this family heirloom in his will. It's a diamond and ruby necklace. The lawyer says it's worth a lot of money, and I could do whatever I want with it, even sell it. How much is it worth? It's worth $250,000. Whoa. And you're carrying it around Pittsburgh like that? I just came back from the appraisers, you see, and I thought I would stop here on my way home. That's why I'm so nervous. Well, one of the many reasons I'm nervous. I'm a quiet person. I don't make a fuss. I'm a librarian, for Pete's sake. Why would anyone leave me anything? It smells fishy. What, you think someone is setting her up? Come on. People don't just leave strangers things like this in their will. What did the lawyer tell you? Only that he was instructed not to tell me who he came from. And what is this lawyer's name? His name is George Brent. Here's his card. But he won't tell you any more than he told me. He made it sound like he would be hanged if he did. Have you checked the obituaries? Did a millionaire kick the bucket recently? The public library should have older newspapers filed away if you're looking for a name. We can start there. I take it that's what you want from us, to help you track down the person who left you this heirloom? Well, sort of. I mean, I would like to know, but that's not why I need your help. Then what can we help you with? Ever since I got this thing, I feel like I'm being followed. Sounds like a case of paranoia, which, with something that valuable, I could see why you would feel that way. Well, no. You see, a few days ago when I came home from work, I found marks in the wood of my front door, like someone had used a screwdriver or a chisel to dig around the keyhole. Someone had called the library where I work and asked for me. When I came to the phone, no one was there. On the same day? Now that I think about it, yes. Do you have a safe deposit box at a bank where you can keep this thing? I have a great hiding place in my house, but if you think I should get one, I will. It's for the best, and the sooner you do it, the better. Now, we have to talk finances. We charge $35 a day plus expenses. We can then start searching for the person who bequeathed you this fine necklace. I don't have a lot of money, but I don't want you to find the benefactor. What I really need is someone to protect me. Oh, I'm sorry, Kate, but we aren't bodyguards. We don't have that kind of muscle. I know a guy, but if you can't afford us, you won't be able to afford him. You're very blunt, aren't you? I'm just being honest. I second what Hardley said about getting a safe deposit box pronto, or you'll end up losing that inheritance before you even find out who gave it to you. Let me walk you out, Kate. Oh, okay. Here's your hat, what's your hurry, I suppose. Kate, before you go, give us a way to get in touch with you. We can call and check up on you at the very least. Hardley gave me a stern look as Kate scribbled her information on a notepad. He walked her out and came back a few minutes later with an even sterner look on his face. "Did you eat something sour for lunch?" "What did you want me to say? You tell clients all the time that we aren't bodyguards." The woman was scared. "I would have thought your curiosity would have gotten the better of you, and you would have taken the case just to find out who's hoarding that kind of loot." "Sure, I am curious, but mostly because the whole thing sounds suspicious." The next day, I was busy trying to revive our almost dying plants with much-needed water, while Hardley read the sports page. Someone knocked softly on the door. I half expected Kate Greer to come back for a visit, but was very surprised to see a well-dressed man standing in the doorway. He wore a three-piece suit, a little out of date, but it looked crisp and clean, and highly polished wingtip shoes. Clean-shaven, just the right amount of aftershave, and a haircut that was as fresh as the morning dew on the grass. "Can I help you, Mr. Mike? Daniels." "Well, Mr. Daniels, just call me Mike." "Sure, Mike. Take a seat." "Name's Hardley." Yes, I know who you are. That's why I'm here." "What can we do?" "I want you to find the woman who stole a valuable heirloom from my family." "What's her—" "I don't know her name, but I can describe her." "What is she?" "She's kind of plain. Not much of a looker. Maybe with a little help, she might attract a husband." "Ugh. Do you want to hear this or not?" "Don't be rude. Or brown hair, long legs, could probably pass for a librarian." "Librarian? Say, doesn't that sound— Mike, can I call you Mike?" "I already said so." "Okay, Mike, can you give us— What more do you want me— As I was saying, can you give us more detail, like what is this heirloom? How do you know it was stolen and not lost? That sort of thing." "That's what I'm paying you to find out for me, isn't it?" "Well, so far you aren't paying us anything." "Don't get fresh with me. Just find the woman who stole the necklace and report back to me." "Did you say necklace?" "What does this necklace look like?" "Diamonds and rubies, worth a lot of money, belonged to my, grandmother. We charge $50 a day, plus expenses." But before we agree to take on your case, Hardley and I need to discuss the particulars. We need more to go on than looks like a librarian. We can't just pick out this girl in a city of this size. Leave us a way to contact you, and we'll let you know tomorrow." "This is unacceptable. I need to know now. If this girl gets away, I'll never— we'll never see the necklace again." "It's sentimental, you understand." "Most heirlooms are, especially the ones worth a lot of money. I'm sorry we can't give you an answer right this second, but it's just the way we do business." "Why don't you let the man speak? You know, the one whose name is on the door." "Mr. Daniels, let me show you that door with my name on it. We'll be in touch. Thank you." What an ass. "Yeah, but what a coincidence, huh?" Who are you calling?" "Morelli. He can put a trace on these two because something ain't right." "Morelli, please?" "Yeah, I'll hold." "I don't know what you think he's going to tell you that we can't figure out for ourselves. Besides, if we're not taking either case, why should we worry about it?" Good point. "Oh, hey, Morelli, I have a favor to ask." I listened as Hardley filled Sergeant Morelli in about Kate and Mike and the diamond and ruby necklace. The more Hardley talked, the more interested I became. Maybe we should have taken one of them as a client, although which one was the question. Morelli said we're nuts and to find another profession. Sounds like something he would say. He'll call us later, but he suggested paying the lawyer fella a visit. I have his card here somewhere. Here it is. George Brent. His office is on the other side of town. We better take the bus. It was always a good idea to make an appointment with busy people like lawyers, but Hardley and I both agreed that it was good for our business to drop in unannounced. Catching people off guard was how we got answers most of the time. In this case, though, Mr. George Brent, Esquire, wasn't busy and wasn't caught off guard. Not entirely. I was expecting someone to show up on Miss Greer's behalf, and you are? I'm Lacey Stocking, and this is Hardley Witt. We're from the Hardley A. Witt Detective Agency. Detectives? Really? I didn't think she would go to such lengths. Look, I'll tell you what I told her. My late partner, who drew up the will for this anonymous benefactor, gave me strict instructions before he left this office and this life that no one wants to know who gave her that necklace. Can you give us anything to go on at all? Like what? Well, why all of a sudden is she fearing for her life? And the family member claiming she stole the necklace. What? This is all news to me. What family member? If I can recall from the will, he had no family. If he disinherited anyone, I wouldn't know. This case fell into my lap just 2 weeks ago when my partner died. All I remember from skimming the will was that his estate wasn't big. He left most of it to charity and some gifts to friends, and this Catherine Greer person. So this benefactor died just recently? Don't try to trick me into giving you any information. I'm smarter than that. Well, if you give me a time frame, I can figure the rest out on my own. As I told Miss Greer, what good will it do? The man is dead. He left you a necklace, end of discussion. I told her to take it and sell it if she needed the money, which I gathered by her appearance. She did. But what was his relationship to her? And don't forget the strange man claiming she stole it. What is this man's name? Mike Daniels? Doesn't ring a bell. Can you at least find out if the deceased had any other family that he might have disinherited to see which one of these two is telling the truth? Telling the truth? The man named her specifically in his will that she was to get the necklace. The firm verified every form of identification she had. If this Mike Daniels is who he says he is, then he can always contest the will, but I'm quite certain he'll lose. I'm sorry I can't be more help, but confidentiality is important at this firm, and personally, I believe in discretion. Please show yourselves out. Hardley and I waited until we were outside on the busy sidewalk before we discussed the matter. It might have been my imagination, but I could have sworn I caught someone following us as we walked along the street to the bus stop. I didn't say anything to Hardley. You know, if we don't take Kate Greer on as a client, I guess it shouldn't matter to us who left her the necklace. I feel bad, though, getting something she didn't ask for and then thinking someone is stalking her, threatening her life. Do you think we should pay her a visit at her place? I think we should pay her a visit. What time does the library close? Lacey, you're rambling. What gives? You only ramble when something's stuck in your craw. I don't know. Guilt, maybe? We should fix our ad in the telephone book to include that we aren't bodyguards. I don't know. There's something about her that makes me feel sorry for her. What did you think of her? Did you feel sorry for her? I think someone is following us. You're rambling again. Did you say someone is following us? Maybe that's what's bothering me? Let's head over to the police station and then we'll take the bus to Kate's house to check up on her. I'm feeling paranoid myself right now. We stopped by the police station to shake the person tailing us. He wore a trench coat, a hat pulled over his eyes, sunglasses, and walked with a limp. Thankfully, as soon as he saw where we were headed, he turned down a side street and went into a bakery. Maybe I only imagined we were being followed. We ran into Sergeant Morelli as he headed out the door. Oh, it's you two. What timing? Remember that woman you wanted me to check up on, Kate Greer? Well, I'm on my way over to her house because someone had broken in and ransacked the place. Want to come along? Yeah. Is she hurt? No, she came home to the mess and called from a neighbor's house. Get in. I'll tell you what I know while I drive. Kate Greer checks out. She's clean as a whistle. Not even a parking ticket. And Mike? There's no one by that name fitting the description you gave, but it's a common enough name that I wouldn't be able to find him in any of our records. Figures. Anything else? The anonymous benefactor was Teddy Baxter. His family had money until the great crash of '29. They managed to hold on to some of their wealth, allowing young Teddy to open a factory. Custom furniture, I gather. He sold it just before the war, making a hefty profit. He was old and sick, but from what I read, a nice man. We aren't supposed to know this, and neither is Kate. Well, keep your mouth shut then. There's more to the story, but I don't have confirmation yet. But what's his connection to her? I can't believe someone would leave a total stranger something so valuable. Oh, I think I know where this is going. You want to tell me? No. Does he have any other children? One, a son. He was a juvenile delinquent, cut off from the old man, and hasn't been seen or heard from ever since. Do you think Mike Daniels might be telling the truth then? It doesn't make sense to use a fake name in this case. Right, here we are. Listen, keep your trap shut about Kate and the old man. No point in telling her anything till we know the truth. What truth? I'm still trying to figure out what the hell you two are talking about. It's probably best to keep it that way. Oh, look, there's Kate. Let me go and talk with her while you guys search the house. Right, let's go, Witt. Kate, are you okay? No, just a little shaken up. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm terrified, Miss Stocking, and now I don't have a place to go. You don't have any family? My mother died last year. My father not long after I was born. I'm an orphan. Hey, I have an idea. You can stay with me, at least for the night. That way, I can keep an eye on you. Are you sure? I really don't want to be alone tonight. I don't blame you. We'll listen to the radio, order some takeout, and make a night of it. That'd be swell. I have to ask, though, where's the, the bank? I'm not very good at taking advice, but this time I listened. But by the looks of things, someone thinks it's in my house. It's all clear. One guess what they were looking for. It's all taken care of. Why are we whispering? Have you noticed the crowd gathering on the sidewalk, gawking at the men in uniform? Lots of ears. Kate's going to stay with me tonight. Great idea. Morelli's going to have someone patrol the house and the neighborhood. They may come back. It's best if Kate's not here. I'll let Morelli know the plan. Those were probably the best pierogies I have ever had. The sauerkraut ones are my favorite. Can I get you another beer? No, I'm already feeling woozy in the head, not to mention too stuffed to move. If you're tired, you can go in my room. I'll sleep on the sofa. I'm too nervous to sleep. I was given something I never asked for by someone I never met, and now someone is trying to steal it from me. My life was boring before this, and I liked it that way. Why did he pick me? I don't even like jewelry. Well, the lawyer did tell you that you could sell it. Might be something to think about. Or you could hold on to it because maybe it might have some meaning to you someday. Lacey Stocking, I don't know you, but I think you're keeping something from me. Saved by the bell. Hello? It's me. Can you talk? Kate's fine. Yeah, she's sitting right here. We've just finished dinner. Right. Got it. I just finished playing a nice game of too many phone calls, so I'll make this snappy. Kate Greer's mother, Dolores, worked as a secretary for Theodore Baxter, and, well, nature took its course and Kate was born 9 months later. Teddy knew he was the father. The house Kate lives in, bought and paid for by Teddy himself. Kate inherited it after her mother died. Any word on the other one? I'm getting to that. Teddy didn't want her to know because he was worried it might upset her, that she might think less of her mother for being human and herself for thinking she was a bastard child. The necklace is worth a fortune, which is why he told the lawyer, who I've been talking with on and off all day, that she could sell it if she wanted to. Well, that's good news, but how did you get him to talk? He wouldn't tell us anything. I have ways. Besides, we know each other. This Mike Daniels is really Michael Baxter, son of Teddy. He's been bad news since he was a teen. Daddy disinherited him and cut all ties with him. Even if he has a record longer than my arm, he still has a right to contest the will. If he doesn't try to steal it first. I'm not worried about the necklace. This man has assault charges on his record. I'm worried for Kate's safety until we can catch this thug. I'll have some men sitting outside your apartment. Witt is already over there. Hardley's here? Ugh. Do you want me to say anything to her or what? I think she has a right to know. For once, I agree with you. I have to run. Good luck. Any trouble, call someone else. Good night. Kate, I need to tell you something. Kate, are you okay? Did you say... Wait, what did you say? The man who left you that necklace is really your father. Can I have another beer? I have something stronger. Kate drank 3 shots of bourbon, one right after another, even after I begged her to slow down. She passed out on the sofa, so I tucked her in for the night. After I cleaned up the kitchen, I crashed onto my bed. All those pierogies, all that beer, and one hell of a long day, I was done for. I dozed off as soon as my head hit the pillow. Then, I jerked awake when I heard someone jiggling the doorknob. Certain Kate wasn't going to wake up, I grabbed my gun and tiptoed out into the kitchen and wedged myself between the icebox and the sink. The door creaked open. I forgot to lock the damn door. I held my breath and waited for the intruder to come inside. It was a man for sure. I could smell the hair tonic. It was an unfamiliar smell, so I knew it wasn't Hardley. Finally inside, he stopped, like he was studying the place. I ran through the possibilities in my head about how to proceed. Hit him over the head with the butt of my gun, jam it into his back and ask him to stick him up, or flick the lights on and talk this over rationally. I chose the first one. He fell to the floor with a loud thunk. Wake up, you. Stop that before I slug you. Kinda hard to do that with handcuffs on. Now, would you care to tell me what you're doing sneaking into my flat? I don't have to answer your questions. What's going on? Who's that? You look just like... oh my God. What's your name? Your real name this time, if you don't mind. Where's the necklace? It doesn't belong to you. I'm afraid it does, Michael Baxter, is it? Who told you that? Come on, fella. We've got ways of checking these things out, including that mile-long rap sheet of yours. You'll be going to jail for breaking and entering, and who knows what else. Save your breath for your lawyer. You're Teddy Baxter's son? I'm not saying anything else. That means we're related. And she's fainted again. Well, Kate, what are you going to do now? Learn as much about my father. Boy, does that sound weird coming out of my mouth. Learn about Teddy Baxter, and then I'll decide if I want to keep the necklace. Selling it could set me up for a long time. That's a lot of scratch, and Mike will be in jail for a few years, so you won't have to worry about him bothering you. In spite of his shortcomings, I have a brother. It was always just Mom and me. Sometimes it got lonely for me. I always wanted to be a part of a family, but not like this. Maybe I'll sell the necklace and the house and run away to Europe. Wouldn't that be fun? Whatever you do, keep in touch. I would like to know what kind of adventures you have.